Hello? Yeah. Good. Hi everyone. My name is BK. I'm a founder of World. So today we're going to discuss about a bit interesting topic. Already Magic Block team here has talked about ephemeral rollouts and having building games on chain. So this is more focused towards the interactive layer. So yeah, let's get started. So what is the future of real-time gaming? Like right now, we have been going through multiple phases of game development, starting from arcade to online games. So today, the biggest revenue accumulating department of the whole industry is gaming. It's more than 180 billion annual revenue. It is bigger than film and also the music industry together. Millions of people stream every single day, and there are thousands of games that are being shipped every day. You won't believe the stat that there are 7,000 apps and games published just on Play Store every single day. That's the rate of gaming industry right now. But unfortunately, we see 95% of the games not even seeing the first 10 users or like 100 users. They get lost in those stores. So let's talk about the evolution of gaming. Like it started with arcade, like it's a decades old industry. It's not something new. It started with arcade as a small games, and then we moved to the consoles, which is now one of the primary source of game distribution. And then we got online MOBA, where people started playing, and the game started becoming more social at that point. And then came Twitch, which changed the industry completely, right? When the Twitch came, the distribution of the games unlocked and the player base and the viewer base has increased by multifold. But from the last previous decade, there is no innovation that actually disrupted the industry after the mobile. VR came up in between, but it did not take off due to its own limitations. But we believe that interactive streaming is the next era, and that's how we can shape like this whole gaming ecosystem going forward. So what's the problem here? It's not that we don't have great games. How many of you play games here? A raise of hands. Oh, we have a lot of games. Yeah. So how many indie games do you play? Like any indie game lovers here who plays indie games? No, not many. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So the main reason is you can't even find the indie game unless and until it is blown out. Just like Hollow Knight, they are like Minecraft. They were not known to people when they were actually started, but very few out of like thousands of games, one or two games make to that state where they get their limelight. Because right now developers are only relying on ads, in-app purchases, pre-sale of games, or like seasons and this stuff. And the streamers right now are also reliant on tips and ads. That is the only source of income for the streamers. And the viewers, that passive spectators. They just chat in the chats and they talk to the streamers to do this, do that. So that's kind of the loop that we are trying to fix together. And why real-time interactivity matters, as I said, like if we make games much more interactive, it could actually change a lot of things. It actually brings in a new attention economy with unpredictable outcomes. Like we already have platforms like Twitch in Vietnam. TikTok is the most used social media platform where people stream the games. And there is also YouTube and other platforms as well. Recently Kick is coming up, even Pump Fun, people started streaming games recently over there too. So that is how people the new users are connecting with their favorite streamers and trying. That is one of the discovery for the games also to find their new users who can actually try their games. But how many of you are actually viewers who watch streams here? Like League of Legends, match tournaments, esports. Oh, nice. Okay. So basically, as a spectator, what you usually do is maybe drop a like or tell, hey, kill that person, kill this person, or use that strategy. All you can do is talk. But they also crave more than that. People actually donate somewhere between $1 to $100 just to show their name in the chat. They crave that influence. So that's something that they are craving for quite some time. And these type of real-time loops now, if they could change the parameters of the game, or change some elements in the game, that could actually establish a strong connection between the streamer and also the player. So that converts into a organic bonding, which could actually help them have consistent community growth and also have more users coming and participating in this. So imagine an open standard that lets any game talk to its audience in real time, where streamer plays the game and viewer sees the stream, and the viewer can also change items in the game. Let me show a small case study that Imagine Dragons and the Legends, the top community. So they were doing a charity event where they wanted to raise funds to donate. So the topmost team of League of Legends was battling with Imagine Dragons. Imagine Dragons have no chance of winning against them, right? So how did they do it? So they said, just a sec. So they set these type of gauges here. You can see that the donations that anxiety gaming receives and the donations that the other team receives. So based on the donation limits, once they hit 25%, then they have a rule that they are stuck for like 5 seconds. They cannot move. And this actually created a lot of interesting behavior during that time. But this is not happening in real time. But the participants who are actually playing the game, so whenever the donation hits, they stop playing it for like 5 seconds, giving the other team a chance. So this actually created a very interesting loop, and they were able to raise thousands of dollars and donate and contribute to the social. So this is a proof that audience actually like something like this, where they want to actually participate. But not everyone can do it. They had a lot of people over here. They are big communities. Imagine that is one of the best bands, and they are the top host community. So, but if some random person with thousand streamers they want to try this, it's impossible for them to trigger something, right? So going back just. So now imagine where this not just stopping the players, but now a game is on the go. The audience can drop loots, they can buff, they can introduce hazards, they can trigger day-night cycles, they can change the whole environment and how the enemy behaviors and player behaves by donating coins dynamically, right? So, and now imagine this dynamic behavior connects with prediction markets. So, where people basically can predict the outcomes in the esports, and you help your teams to basically win the battle. So this opens up endless possibilities, right? So I'll dig deeper into this a bit more, but before that, let me just introduce why we are actually focusing on this. As I said, I'm founder of World. We are an indie game studio. We have been building on Solana for the past 3 years, and this is our IP. We created an RTS game. It is about the story of kids traveling to space in 2094, and for 14 years they have been in the spaceships, and the first time they are experiencing this universe. And over there, they battle the creatures, they set up their base, and they build their buildings and build their own kingdom. So that is the whole gameplay. And not just that, we also experimented Fortnite. We also have this mode live on Fortnite where we took our IP into UEFN mode, where you go activate these monoliths, and whoever activates the monoliths wins first. And then we started presenting this in Solana Summit during multiple events. So we also have comic videos. So this is where we showcase our crafting mechanics. We have tried NFTs. We have done a lot of experimentation in the last 3 years, figuring out what works, what doesn't. And we are also very, very deeply connected in the ecosystem with a lot of partners. But still, what we faced is we have been running into the same issue of go to market. We don't know if we launch our game, it will be adopted by the players and player will play the game, or we don't know if we make any revenue or anything. So that is a very big problem to solve, not just for Web3 but overall gaming industry needs this solution where they can actually ship their game out and begin. So to figure this out, we started a small experiment called Indies on Solana. We got in. Let me just play this for you guys. Oh, sorry, technical issues. So we split this up. Thank you so much. Okay. We spin this up, and five indie teams were logged in for 30 days. We have been brainstorming multiple times and figuring out how can we crack this. We also got many guests, and that's when even Hugh from Super Team, he actually came over there and he gave us an idea of what if the games can be real time. And for him also, he also had chat with Andrea from Magic Blog and also from GameShift. So everyone has been discussing about this, and that actually lit a thought. Okay, and then we thought, okay, actually this makes a lot of sense, right? We have the tech there, we have everything on chain. Now with ephemeral rollups, it's much faster, and real-time gaming is actually possible. So there is a chance where we can actually begin and change the whole dynamics of how industry operates, right? So that's where a new idea is born. Welcome to the world of next generation gaming, where games meet markets. So we are introducing Airdrop Aircade. So this is basically an easy to integrate API suite. Any game developer can plug in these APIs and convert existing games or new games instantly into interactive modes. So you don't have to build your games from scratch. Even if you have a 10-year-old game, you can make that interactive right now and take it to the people. So devs build that, players play that, and they can also stream these games, and their community can interact by spending the coins. So when they spend the coins, we give back that coins to the players and also the developers, right? Let me just show you how this platform works. So we spinned up this MVP last month, and now we have a version 0 out where we already integrated this and experimenting this. They can all the streamers can basically stream in their platforms like Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, whatever the platform it is. We actually show the embed, or they could just go to our website and use this interactive buttons to drop items and stuff. So this map, the goal is to activate three monoliths and kill the mother crab in 15 minutes. So this gives an overview. Let me just show how this works. Yeah, so now the game began. The interactive layout is ready. So you can see a snake is being dropped here by the viewer, and instantly it is spawned inside the game. So now the player has to deal with this. So typically, without these changes, achieving this in 15 minutes is quite possible. But now, like imagine the community decided, okay, let's make it hard for the streamer, and they can just keep dropping multiple enemies based on the limits. So here is where like game design matters a lot. So we need to design games according to these mechanics to make it fun for the streamers, so that they can actually engage and connect with the community, right? So we also have another mode called cycles where they can just drop the coins, and as every milestone is hit, after 2 minutes, it drops the whole package of multiple enemies and multiple users. Let's just forward this so that I can also show how cycles work. So you can see it was filled till here. Now the users is supposed to get a health pack, a rifle, a pistol, and a grenade. So yeah, just now everything is like you can see all the creatures spawn, and then you also got that rifle and everything directly to the player. So we are also dropping chests. We can also create boosts. So it's all about the creativity now. Now you don't have to worry about, okay, should I integrate CNFTs? Should I integrate NFTs? Should I launch a token? Nothing. Just build games. Just build games that are fun, and you plug into the Web3 ecosystem directly, which is powered by, like, we are working with our partners to ensure everything is of Web3 is taken care, and you just build, like, good games on top of that. So what changes in this? Like, now imagine this player is the top bar you see is the player, and the bottom bar you see is the enemies. So now, after we add even the prediction markets, so people can basically decide, okay, after 15 minutes, the player might win or the enemy might win. So now they are not just predicting it, but they can also influence their prediction by supporting that particular segment. So what happens because of this? If someone is like, putting a stake of like $100 or like $50, they don't mind spending $5 to change the influence, right? So whenever they tend to spend this, that money directly goes to the developers, streamers, and like, make them start them making revenue. So this will actually unlock the barrier of like failing games, but they can also explore more revenue opportunities and actually build a sustainable game, and yeah, make it work for them. So this is how the revenue model also works. So the streamer will get somewhere around 33 to 65% based on how many games they have streamed, and the developer gets 25% of every coin that is dropped in the game, and the platform gets the remaining revenue, which we use to like onboard more streamers, get more distribution out, support the indie games to build games. So with this idea, we are hosting a side track along the Cypherpunk. It's called Underdog. It's already live. So the goal is to integrate these APIs and make interactive and fun games, or you could also innovate in the same space. So since right now this is a very new and interesting mechanism, like, we would actually like to see a lot of people trying and exploring this and building games for the fun of making games than like, getting into the technical jargon of learning whole Web3, learning what Solana is, learning what CNFTs are or NFTs are. So it's time we bring the consumer layer out. Like, we build for consumers now. We are not just building for developers. So anyone who is in this gaming industry can basically, like, without learning Web3, just use WebSockets, API calls. We handle the rest for you, and you plug into the Web3 markets and take the best out of Solana. So if you are participating, like, for Cypherpunk, make sure to apply for this site track and also build games on this. So there is a prize pool of 15K USDC, which will be distributed among, like, first four winners, and there is also a bonus track. So this is, the top winner can get up to 5K, and you also get a chance to fast track to Indies on Solana Season 2, where you get to stay with other indies for like 30 days and just go through the same experience what we have been through, and, like, unlock new possibilities. We don't know what innovation is going to come out of the next villa, but yeah, this is open for everyone. Make sure to join. You can register over there, and you can also join our Discord Indies on Solana community and build with other developers. That's it. Thank you so much. Any questions? Any questions? Or yeah. So this is not actually a Web3 term, because if you guys played like PUBG and everything, anything that drops from air is airdrop. So that is actually used as a Web3 term now. But yeah. And why arcade is because it doesn't have to be a triple A game or a double A game, right? It can be any game that could actually induce the interactability. Even chess, let's imagine there is chess, okay? So now I'm playing with another player. My community decides and vote, they donate like 5,000 coins so that my rook would move in the next move. So I have to plan my moves with the other pawns I have. So it's just your imagination right now. Like, it just unlocks limitless possibilities. This can be integrated into every single small game. It doesn't have to be a unique game mode just built for this. So that's what it's arcade. You have like multiple games. You can just so let me also quickly show you guys. Okay. So here you could, this is not live yet, our team is working on this. So here you could actually see all the video tabs and the current games that is actually happening. And people can basically click the game and enter into the active mode. So you have a series of games which is like an arcade, and you could use that. And we also have Access Portal Live. And the configurations are also pretty simple. Like for example, you can see I can add a player like Aquaticans. So this is one type of player mode, and then I can also add events. So I'll call it drop monolith activated. So all these events are registered, and this will be like, saved. The state is saved on chain, and whenever the game triggers this event, these events can be used for predictions. So can the player activate the first monolith? Can the player activate the second monolith? So they can dynamically change everything. So this is more generalized and available in multiple ways. And packages also are like completely dynamic. You can just name the package like a rifle, and then upload the image of the rifle, and you can also give all the parameters, like what's the cost of that one, and you can also add attributes so that this goes into the CNFT and that is stored over there. And once this is live, you have all the packages and everything available in the interface. So everything is just plug and play. You can basically integrate this whole thing in 1 or 2 days if you have a game ready. So it's that simple. It's about creativity. Like if you are good at game design, you get a chance to win. That's it. Yeah.
When you say coins, what do you mean? Like every game has their own token, or it's like Airdrop token?
Uh, so right now, what we are planning is like, we'll take a bonk. Let's say for example, bonk, like we'll tell that, okay, this is 500 bonk, this is 1,000 bonk, this is 2,000 bonk. They can just buy the bonk and use bonk to interact with the game, and that will be distributed across everyone. Then, but stables are actually the best way to do it, because we don't have to deal with token purchases. Instead, like, we can have a ephemeral rollup event where we store the coins in the rollup itself, and all the transfer happens in the rollup. And once the game is done, we settle the payments in USDC so that the payments are instantly settled. That's one more USP of this, where if you go to Twitch or any other platforms, they have 30 days to 60 days of payment settlements. Here, they drop it, you get the money instantly in your wallet. So there is, yeah, it changes everything. This is, I think, this is where Web3 actually impacts the gaming than, like, token launches, Ponzinomics and all this. Like they are eventually, they tend to die. Maybe they can make noise in the start, but they eventually die because game economy doesn't work that way. Yeah. So yes.
I have a question regarding the price of the assets that you create here. Like who or how is it determined? Like the different features that the streamer will face if somebody wants to short or long him in his game. And another question is, let's say this is now very specific for your game that you have developed, right? But if another developer wants to come in and want to integrate, do you have like an API, or how does it work like this?
Yeah,
dropping?
this is what the platform is. So all the developers can actually go to this platform, access.theworld.com. So here they could basically create all the in-game parameters, like, how many players are there in the game, and what are the different types of events. And the developer can actually decide what is the cost of individual package. Like let's say, for example, a rifle, they can decide, okay, this rifle is 500 bomb, or like 1,000 bomb, and that LNG is like 2,000 bomb. So they decide all these prices and keep it. So this is up to the game, because it's not one fit size all. That's why we made it generalized. Right now, let's imagine like we are creating a chess itself, right? So we tell that the only event that the chess can have is checkmate. So checkmate is an event. So we create an event called checkmate, and the event name can be added into the game. So for that, I will just show you the docs. So you can see here how what is your arcade ID, and then you can see what are immediate packages. And there is also API calls for everything, and also the code samples for them to integrate. Everything is already in the website. So yeah, they can use these APIs and use this. You can see the docs.
So the to understand your answer, you say that the developer is setting all these parameters.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, in the case of, let's say, a streamer who is playing wants to, let's say, bet, okay, like at this difficulty level, I wanna kill this game, and then he could put out like a game mode where people put, let's say, betting, like, oh, you viewers, do you believe me?
Right.
And then they could influence that. In this case, it's not the developer who is setting up the parameters, but actually the game, let's say the streamer, or maybe the viewer or the liquidity provider,
Right.
where they can put a bounty. If you win this game at this difficulty level, then you get to win, and the viewers can win short and long.
Yeah. So actually, this cost is for dropping items in the game. This is not for the predictions. So for the predictions, basically, like we are planning to integrate Kalshi. So even this is a 1 month old product. We are submitting this whole project as a hackathon project to Cyberpunk as well. So when we are adding this prediction markets, definitely I would like to brainstorm more on that. Like if you can have more inputs, but streamer can also set the prices. So this is for the developers to set a price for the game item they can interact with. But prediction markets is a complete different layer that comes on top of it. Yeah.
And another question, the second one that I asked before, is if let's say a game developer wants to build a game that wants to integrate in this streaming, airdropping, or like dropping feature, like how could they utilize what you have built right now? Like, how are there any APIs,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah.
how does it work?
Yeah, we have the API calls here, like, all the APIs in the Postman files are there to access. So they can just integrate, like, say, for example, to create a game, they can use for the game management, this Post APIs, and to get game details and everything. So we have 5 different API calls for game management, and also like 5 for the Boost system. So this is already there available for the people.
So in this case, like any developer can build any game, like
Yeah.
let's say, and then just use this API to,
Get the
okay,
interactivity, yes.
okay, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, any game.
Okay.
Just view a game.
Just build a game. Forget about anything else. Just build a game. That is fun for streamers. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So I wanted to ask, like, the structure that you have shared of 33 to 60% is going to the players, 25% is going to developers, and rest is going to the platform. So the structures works on every case. Like if I'm playing a game, people are making it difficult and difficult, and because of which I lose. So
Yeah,
then
yeah.
also okay.
So
it's just
if,
for me
if
to
you are
play
starting
game.
right now, right, this is your first game. So then your revenue would be 33%.
Okay.
So if you have completed like 10 games, 20 games, 50 games, then your percentage keeps on increasing because you are a streamer who are actually contributing to the platform and also building, right? So as you grow more, you go on to the top tier levels, and the top streamers get the maximum revenue, where game developers gets 25% fixed every time. And this is additional to top, like whatever you are generating from Twitch and YouTube, right? This is just on top of that layer. So your revenue always stays, and you also are earning new revenue. You don't have to switch any platforms. So that is the main advantage of this.
And then the prediction will come in where people will also bet, okay, I'm making your game difficult and difficult. If
Yeah.
you win in
Exactly, exactly. So when they start predicting, they tend to put more coins. When they put more coins, developers are earning more money, the streamer is earning more money. So that is what we are just solving revenue right now. So that is the biggest challenge every game developer faces. If they are making at least $1,000, $2,000 a month in revenue, that is a living for thousands of indie developers in the ecosystem, right? So if we crack that, that could actually kick off the flywheel. And Solana has that possibility, and we have that big liquid markets. People just trade on just some stupid questions. So this is much more fun than answering questions, and the outcomes are pretty quick. Like, games can be anywhere from 5 minutes to 15 minutes loops. So they predict something, they get the result immediately, and they are actively engaging. So this flywheel is kind of addictive.
and what is like your current traction? How many games have integrated it, and how the people are seeing this?
Oh, this product is created last month. We are
No, I know
we are
that you
taking
said.
yeah we are also participating in hackathon, taking this Airdrop Arcade, and we are also conducting hackathon for games to build on this. So it's basically like we are trying to bring in a new industry to Solana through this. So yeah, we are positive on this, but in the next 20-30 days, you can see at least 10-15 games integrated on this protocol live, and people can start playing. So by the end of hackathon, we will see a lot of games operating on this.
One last follow-up question regarding the API. Is it like off-chain or is it on-chain, the API?
So these APIs are from our server, and our server handles all the on-chain related stuff. So we are the main thing what we wanted to eliminate is the learning curve of how to call the contract or how to call this type of things, right? So but they are very all the game developers are familiar with REST APIs, and they're also familiar with WebSockets. So that is what we have created. All these APIs are in our servers, and we handle all the blockchain elements in our servers itself. Like, let's say if you're creating a package, we mint that as a CNFT and store it on chain. And if there is a game state, we store the state on rollups. So we are handling all the backend so that developers don't have to deal with that.
I'm just wondering, why did you not choose to build the API on-chain?
The whole idea is to actually go completely on chain and eliminate the servers, but we also need to see the PMF and also understand how games and streamers would respond. So the quickest way to go to market is like this one. So now what we are doing is we are moving individual modules on chain so that we have more credibility of this, and eventually we will go completely on chain. But right now it is not fully on chain. It's a combination of both. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And by the way, this transaction builder and everything are on chain. So all the settlements, everything happens on chain. And Kalshi, we are using them. So they are, yeah, Kalshi, yeah. Okay, then if no other questions, thank you so much for your time. And I'll be here if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.